Hello and welcome to the 4th annual Make It Home Tour. My name is Joel Roberts and I'm the CEO of PATH, and I'm here at PATH San Diego. PATH's mission is to end homelessness for people, families, and communities, and we do this by building affordable housing and providing support services all across California, and in fact in 150 cities, and we actually have 6 hubs throughout the state. The Making It Home Tour started in 2017 as a way to raise resources for PATH Santa Barbara. This year, because of all that's been going on this year, we've decided to make it a statewide event and a virtual event so that not only people in Santa Barbara, but throughout the state can support PATH. I'd like to extend my appreciation to our event sponsors, 805 Living, A&J Los Angeles, Arga Design, Bank of California, Bobcat Room, Consumer Insights Group. There's a lot of them here. The Golan Group, it's Holly, Loft and Beer Vodka, the Tyler Family, Urban Catalyst, Urban Taste, and Variety. And thank you also for our committee members for your time and contributions to this event. We could not have done this without you. And last but not least, thank you so much for our incredible homeowners who opened up their homes to be included in this event. We are so grateful for you. And now I'd like to introduce you to our Deputy CEO, Jennifer Hart-Dietz. She's going to be guiding us this afternoon. Jennifer?
Thank you so much, Joel. While the pandemic has presented many challenges and upended many lives, it has not put a stop to our mission to end homelessness for individuals, families, and communities. In fact, PATH and our team of essential workers have worked double time to meet the growing needs in the communities we serve across the state of California. Like all of us, PATH has had to adapt to the shifting challenges and new normals of the pandemic. While many stayed home, PATH staff continued to work to help people make it home. We continued our work in the field and adapted to video calls and home offices and finding new ways to stay connected through technology. Our signature in-person events weren't possible, so we have found new and engaging ways to make them virtual. The Making It Home Tour is no exception. We took what at first felt like limitations and found new opportunities to reimagine this event. Now, we can reach an audience that is statewide and give you an insight into all of the work we are doing in the various regions we serve. So we're excited to present you a reimagined Making It Home Tour, one that delves into the many meanings of home. Today, you'll be getting an exclusive inside look into some of our PATH sites, and we'll tour unique, expressive, and historic homes to show us the range of spaces that people call home. Throughout the program, you'll also be hearing from special guests, from celebrities to community partners to elected officials, all responding to the one central question: what does home mean to you? And with that, we'll start where the Making It Home Tour all began, in Santa Barbara.
Hi, welcome to Santa Barbara, or Montecito. I'm John J.B. Bolin, but everybody that walks through the Santa Barbara PATH doors calls me JB. PATH Santa Barbara merged with Casa Esperanza in 2015. Over 3,500 people have been served, and 475 people have made it home. Now let's get this started. I'm so excited to kick off the home tour here at the Stone Tower, designed by Jeff Shelton and hosted by Mary Beth Myers. So let's take a look into Mary Beth's home.
Hi, my name is Mary Beth Myers, and we're here in Montecito, California. We had a mudslide here in January 9th, 2018, and my house, along with many others, was absolutely wiped out. It was a weird and tragic time, and lost some neighbors and 23 people altogether. And then we had a long period of waiting as we figured out what was happening with the watershed, and everyone's trying to get their lives back together. And for me, I was ready to build a different house.
Mary Beth probably came to me I don't know how many years ago, for a remodel of a little shack that was there, historic shack. Her shack that we were going to remodel in some way, and had just turned plans for that to go to the review board. That night when we turned the plans in, of course, her house got washed away.
And then I asked my architect, Jeff Shelton, what could we do that would be the strongest house you could build? And he said, how do you feel about round? And I said, like a turret and like a castle. And he's like, sure. So then we did that.
The debris flow inspired the shape, the idea. Somehow, I immediately went to look at maps for rivers and how things sit in rivers and flood areas. And everything was shaped oval or round, little islands. They were never these square masses. So did a sketch on a 8.5 by 11 and showed Mary Beth, and I said, Mary Beth, this is your house now. It's a round house. Water will go around it.
Jeff started calling it the Stone Tower, and it's got all kinds of references. Like we said, a turret in a castle, or an old water mill, or even like a 1905 outpost like you would see in Yosemite, right? So it had this landmark feeling. So he called it the Stone Tower. We're still calling it that. And to me, the most poetic part of it is the house was literally built from the stones that rolled down the hill during the debris flow, along with the stones that we excavated. That's what makes up the Stone Tower. I do interior design, so it was really fun to work with Jeff as the architect and then use everything I could think of to do the interior of the house. And he said early on, you're not ever supposed to do a round house. Like every fundamental rule of architecture, do not design a round house. And so he did it anyway. And then designing the interior was almost designing a boat, right? Everything has to be multifunctional and tuck in, and every single thing has to be custom because you have to have a curved door and a curved cabinet front. There's a lot of color. I love color. I think it's just, an easy way to be happier. So I've used a lot of color, but more in the furnishing. The light fixtures are primarily Murano glass, and those have such beautiful colors, especially when the light's going through the glass. And then the ironwork is Jeff's brother, David Shelton, and he has a very Gaudi-esque style, which I love. So it just flows. It feels good to run your hand down that wiggly banister. We put some seating into the balconies so that when I can have parties and dinner parties, we'll have, dinner for 12 out on the terrace. And it's, a relatively small house for Montecito. It's only 936 square feet. But because of the way we designed it, it has every luxurious thing I can think of, but pocket sized. So I just love it. I don't think I need another square inch of space. And then the whole wall opens to nature. And it really does feel like glamping in a very upscale yurt. I have a lot of special places in this house. And I got to use all the things that I wanted to use, right? So mosaic tiles. I did like a wet room with a big crazy chandelier just in the powder room, right? But it's kind of Danish in a way. There's no barriers. And then upstairs, I did a gigantic bathtub, no shower, because I thought it's a little house. I have a shower and a tub. I don't need more than that. And to sit in that tub and soak and look at all the trees and the birds around me is just absolutely magical. When JB and Jeff reached out to me to be part of the Path virtual home tour, I hesitated for half a second because to me the house isn't quite done. But I love the idea of housing first, and the homeless problem is unbelievable. And we need to address it. And when I talked to JB, I loved the wholeness of their approach. I think it's really wonderful and so needed at this time. And I thought, it took me a long time to get this house, this home, and I thought, what better people to share it with for the first time than your group. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, happy to share this with you. And yeah, it couldn't be more important work at a more important time. So yeah, Jeff said, this is what Path is. JB explained it to me, and I thought, absolutely perfect kickoff to showing off this house.
We are deeply grateful to our staff and community of supporters in Santa Barbara, not only for inspiring this event, but for kicking off our series of tours. Now we'll travel up to Northern California. While we won't be stopping by today, I do want to highlight one of our newest regions, Sacramento. We thank the community there for bringing on our Path-intensive case management teams, especially during the pandemic. Every day, our teams work to connect people to services and housing opportunities, and we look forward to working towards more solutions in our state's capital. So shifting over to the Bay Area, I'm excited to introduce you to Evans Lane in San Jose, one of PATH's newest and most innovative interim housing sites, developed in partnership with the City of San Jose and Abode Services. Laura Sandoval, our regional director, will give us a tour around this new facility and discuss the various amenities and services offered for families in need.
Welcome to Evans Lane. I'm Laura Sandoval. I'm the Director of Programs for PATH in San Jose. Evans Lane is a bridge housing community. It was born out of a partnership with the City of San Jose and also Abode Services. So our three organizations work together to provide a safe and therapeutic environment for families who are experiencing homelessness. I'm really excited that in the next coming weeks, we're going to be supporting 48 families transitioning and moving into our Evans Lane community. And once they're here, our team, we have such a dedicated team of staff who are ready to support people in finding respite, finding support, and then moving on to their permanent homes. All of the families who move into this community have their own private cabin, a place that they can retreat into, lock the door, and enjoy the intimacy and privacy of family life. Our goal, if we're doing our job right, is to help people when they move into our community, help them find and move into permanent housing within 120 days of entering our housing program. We have a number of different amenities on site that really help our community to feel like home while our residents are living here. I'm standing in our community kitchen where residents can cook, also where our resident associates might facilitate a cooking workshop to support residents in developing their cooking skills. Outside, we have a range of different amenities. We have a playground on site with a jungle gym, so our kids can safely play nearby their families. We have a dog run so that even families that have pets as a part of their family can have a safe place for their dogs to stretch their legs outside. We have a number of community picnic tables, a place where families may decide that they want to sit outside next to their neighbors and build relationships with each other while they're enjoying a meal. We have a basketball court, something that I know the kids moving into Evans Lane are very excited to play a couple of games of pick up with each other. We have on-site washer-dryer services for our residents so that we can remove the barriers for folks to be able to bring their laundry to a community facility if they have limited means for transportation. We also have a rec room on site, which is a place that our case managers or resident associates can facilitate groups and workshops focused on health and wellness, focused on life skill development, focused on family services and needs, and a number of conference rooms where our case managers and residents can meet for one-on-one conversations, or families can have a place to congregate and have discussions with each other as well. So it took a number of partnerships to make Evans Lane happen. Even the buildings themselves that were donated to the city were donations from the public, specifically for the purpose of converting them into tiny homes for families experiencing homelessness. We also had a partnership with Habitat for Humanity, who actually converted them into the tiny homes that you see here. So between the real investment of the city and the county to be able to invest services and resources to end homelessness and make sure that people are connected to the right healthcare services. We're also really lucky to be positioned in Silicon Valley, where you see unique opportunities for the private and public sector to work together, really take ownership over the community and say this is ours, and we value having everybody in our community to have a place to call home. Thanks for taking the journey to Evans Lane in San Jose.
Thank you so much, Laura. The work that you have all done in San Jose is so inspiring and fills me with hope. Because of the generous support of community partners and commitment from our elected officials, Path San Jose has been able to expand and grow in ways that will enable us to help more people experiencing homelessness every day. Now we'll move to where Path began, in Los Angeles. Throughout Los Angeles County, we provide a broad spectrum of services to support our homeless neighbors on their journey home, including street outreach, interim housing, employment, and a variety of programs serving families, veterans, and those that are chronically homeless. Path's original network of donors also arose in Los Angeles, and their support has been central to our growth and impact across the state. We are excited to kick off our time here in LA at the historic home of one of our local supporters. We hope you'll enjoy the Warwick Evans home.
Hi, my name is Mary Garvey, and I'd like to welcome you to the Warwick Evans home in Brentwood, California. We found the house in 2017. We had been living in another neighborhood and we wanted to move closer in, something closer into town. And we found it through good old-fashioned advertising, actually. We'd been looking around this neighborhood and didn't really find something that was speaking to us, and we saw it in the Saturday magazine advertised, and it was love at first sight. So the house was built in 1936 for Charles Warwick Evans, who was a founding member of the London String Quartet. He'd come over to Los Angeles to do some filming and hired Lloyd Wright Jr., who is Frank Lloyd Wright's son, to build the home. Lloyd Wright Jr., the architect, did a bunch of different homes and structures around Los Angeles. He actually was interested in doing public works, and not only did he design the first shelf for the Hollywood Bowl, the first two shelves for the Hollywood Bowl, he also did Palos Verdes, the Wayfarers Chapel. And one of the things that you'll see throughout this house that echoes the Wayfarers Chapel are the framed vaulted ceilings and the use of cedar wood throughout the home. One of the things that makes this house home for us is the warmth of the wood and the brick, and it really echoes sort of the entire Lloyd Wright feeling of being connected to the earth, being connected to the outside, the indoor-outdoor spaces. Everything just feels so lovely, warm, and peaceful. I would say it's a peaceful home. If I had to pick one place in this home that is my very favorite place, it would be outside on the front patio. I just really found some sort of solace and peace sitting outside, listening to the birds chirping, watching the hummingbirds come and check me out, the dogs running around and looking at the fish in the fountain. You feel alone in nature. I think one of the most spectacular features of the home is the fountain in the front yard, which echoes sort of an Aztec feel. There are so many water features actually on the property that when we walked on, it did give us the feeling of the property that Lloyd Wright's father did, Falling Water, in Pennsylvania. Just the sound of water echoes everywhere. It must be really hard to live in the shadow of your father if your father's a super famous architect. And Lloyd Wright was a famous architect in his own right. But one of the fun features in this home is the stairway, which has wrought iron features in it that he did specifically to pay homage to his father, and in particular his father's architectural style. What this property provides is a personal retreat from the world. There are just so many special outdoor spaces that anywhere you want to go, you can be alone with your thoughts. You can sit and meditate. One day, out of the blue, I went out to the mailbox and there was just a random FedEx envelopes in the mailbox, and I opened it and it was archival pictures of this home. It had pictures of Charles Warwick Evans and the London String Quartet sitting right in this living room, practicing with their instruments. It had photos, a beautiful photo of a woman in a bathing suit who I'm going to maybe assume was one of the Evans daughters, and of small children. And we had pictures of the home being built and Lloyd Wright in those photos, and it was just such a treasure trove, and I had no idea who dropped them off. I still don't. I suspect it was one of the former owners. One of the fun things about living in an architectural home is that it actually has history to it, and you can go back and you can look at architectural drawings and see the things that have been done to the home. I'm thrilled to have been asked to be part of this by Kathy Watts, who's a board member of PATH. And I hope that all of you really enjoy not just my home, but all the homes. And thank you so much for supporting the great work and helping the unhoused.
Thank you, Mary, for welcoming us into your stunning home. Next, we're headed to Hollywood to explore one of our newest PATH housing developments. PATH has been able to help thousands of Angelenos make it home over the years. And while 2020 provided many challenges, it also allowed us to work with our regional elected officials to provide more shelter and more housing than ever before. Project Roomkey allowed PATH to provide a safe haven through individual hotel stays for people experiencing homelessness during the pandemic. And Project Homekey has given us the opportunity to work with the city and county and public housing authority to bring more housing units online than ever before and in record speed. You'll hear more about that at our site on Orchid.
Welcome here to PATH Orchid in Hollywood. Today we're going to show you a one-bedroom apartment. Hi everyone, my name is Milton Toscano. I am the program manager with PATH, and we are here at PATH Orchid. We are a permanent supportive housing site opened in early 2021. We converted it from a formerly hotel. It was previously Hollywood Orchid Suites, and PATH purchased this property in late 2020, and we were able to house clients at the beginning of March. We partnered with the city of Los Angeles. This is an exciting new opportunity. We converted this building in 3 months, and we were to open this building in March of 2021. This is a brand new permanent supportive housing site. We are home to formerly homeless. We have 30 clients currently housed here. This is a 40-unit building, so we're still in the process of completely leasing it up. We have a patio right by the pool, and up on the 4th floor we have a garden. Absolutely beautiful. Clients are encouraged to come and spend some time there. PATH Orchid has 21 studios and 19 one-bedrooms, and each unit comes with a home kit provided by PATH. We provided them with standard toiletries, household items, kitchen items, and just supply them with whatever they need so they can just worry about moving in. PATH Orchid is the first of its kind. We utilize the city and Project Homekey funding to open up this building. I hope it inspires other agencies to open up and convert hotels to help end homelessness. What makes PATH Orchid unique is that we did not build it from the ground up, so this led to faster housing times with our clients. We were able actually to do the intakes with them and house them within 2 months, which is absolutely incredibly fast. So here at Orchid, we have 2 case managers here on site supporting our clients in whatever it is that they need. Specifically, we're helping connect them to local physical health and mental health providers in the area. We partner with local agencies to do that. We help link them to local employment agencies to help them get back to work, help them apply for benefits if they need so. And most of all, we make sure that they enjoy where they live. Thanks so much for coming to PATH Orchid. Next, we're taking you over to Orange County.
Hi, welcome to PATH Orange County. My name is Manbir Kaur. I'm the Director of Programs at PATH. We opened PATH Orange County in 2020, right before COVID-19 pandemic hit. Here in PATH Orange County, we have 2 interim sites. One is in Placentia, which is 100-bed shelter. Another one is in Santa Ana, which is 425-bed shelter. And we provide different services, including housing plans, employment, case management on-site, healthcare services, and linkages to behavioral health and substance use. We recently started another program in Orange County, which is rapid rehousing. We're very excited about it. And we have about 70 plus people working here in Orange County to help people make it home. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Pam. I'd like to welcome you all to my house in Juan Capistrano. I've lived in this house for about 2 years now. I found it because my friends were moving to Jackson, and I just by chance found out that they were putting their house on the market. It happened rather quickly. And the first time I saw this house, when it wasn't for sale, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with all the touches that they did. It's exactly my style. I have a house in Montana. It felt like its soul sister house, basically. My friends did a major renovation on this house for, I guess, 18 months, and I kept hearing about all of the whole process. They found the stone in Idaho. They have the floor is reclaimed wood from Idaho Falls. Steel up there from Bozeman, Montana, which is where my Montana house was. So just I felt connected right away, when I first walked in the door. And it just has all these just unique touches. It's classy, but it's industrial, and it's a, I guess, farmhouse, it's horses, and so it's just a combination of all my interests, my passions. One of the most important things that tied in this house with Montana was the rustic theme, the reclaimed wood, the iron, which actually is also from Montana, which is another weird coincidence, not planned. And then you have the crystals, so you have all these earth elements in it, which I think contributes to the positive flow and positive energy that people feel when they come, in this house. All the houses I've had in the past, the key important part is entertaining. I love people. I love to gather and have friends around, and my kids, they could have their friends over. I mean, my son has the pool parties because we have a pool, and he has ping pong. So I just love to, be social and it's important to have a house that, as I said, that's lived in and social. My favorite part of the house is the indoor-outdoor feel. I love the kitchen because it's the biggest kitchen that I have. It's just a very comfortable working kitchen. I love sitting here. There's a fireplace there, so at night and reading books. I love it all, except my favorite part is the master bedroom. So it's my little retreat. I have the bathroom connected with a huge bathtub and big master closet, but an outside spa area, which is really relaxing. And it goes with the house in terms of being, rustic, Western kind of feel. And then we have a little workout room. So that whole area of the house is my favorite. Everyone that walks in, it has a spirit about it, a positive energy. It just makes you feel good when you walk in, and I think it's a combination, the crystals and the chandelier, which is my favorite touch. But just the flow of the house. People just feel comfortable. Also they're not here yet, but right now I have dogs, cats, kids running around from the pool. I mean, I just want it to be just really comfortable, just a great place. So I would say just the positive energy of the house. Just thank you for coming to my home. I hope you enjoy the tour, and I hope you continue to support this great organization, PATH.
As you can see, we have taken every opportunity possible to help as many people across the state as we can. We thank our community partners in Orange County for welcoming us into the region and helping us quickly implement solutions to support our neighbors experiencing homelessness in Placentia and Santa Ana. Now we'll travel a little further south to San Diego. PATH San Diego began in 2013 by opening Connections Housing, which provides 223 housing units, a health center run by Family Health Centers, and numerous social services all conveniently located in one building. Because our work has been so impactful, PATH San Diego has grown considerably to include multiple housing sites and newly expanded outreach teams across the city of San Diego. To share more about our work there, I'd like to welcome our regional director, Hanan Scrapper.
Hi everyone, I'm Hanan Scrapper, Regional Director for PATH San Diego, and we are at Zephyr, permanent supportive housing for formerly homeless veterans. So this property is 84 units of permanent supportive housing for our veterans. This used to actually be a Motel 6 motel that was converted into permanent homes for our veterans who used to be homeless. At Zephyr, we have single household individuals who are male and female, and they are, on average, the age is around 48, and we have individuals who've served in the military, all 4 branches of the military, and various aspects and needs. And so our wraparound services really help with case management and offering life skills classes such as nutrition or budgeting or cooking. Whatever they're interested in is really being able to bring that to their community. The biggest goal in having permanent supportive housing is what does home feel like for people living here, and we want to make sure that's the environment we're creating. We also have a community garden here that they are the ones that are really, the residents take control of it, watering it, and it really creates that community atmosphere.
Clients are able to use the community room. We have games, shuffleboard, a ping pong table, and then we also have a computer lab that clients can come use, and also a phone, just in case if they don't have their own phone, they can come make calls for services or benefits or whatever that looks like for them. And then we also run groups. So PATH staff is here Monday through Friday, probably from 8 to about 4:30. And then we do have 24-hour security, and we have the maintenance man that lives on the property.
What's unique about this facility is the fact that everyone here has something in common. They're all veterans, have it be combat veterans or just in service. They're able to connect with one another on that level, and it really increases their ability to have that sense of community and bonding, and which also means that our focus around bringing veteran-specific resources, veteran-specific groups and life skills classes is really beneficial, because they do love that aspect of their history and bringing back what they were familiar with in the past. We also have SSVF, which is Supportive Services for Veteran Families, that's really focused on providing wraparound services for veterans, that is providing rental assistance, rapid rehousing, and home type of case management, so that people can stabilize in their own homes and go back to what they were used to once, and being able to get back in the workforce and provide for their families. We've been really focusing around how do we do best practices and how do we implement services that are really not just a Band-Aid, but how do we make long-term lasting changes for our homeless neighbors. And with that, one of the areas that we really focused around is what does service look like for one person and moving through the system as quickly as possible. So we've recently opened up the Homelessness Response Center in partnership with the San Diego Housing Commission. This is really serving our vulnerable individuals who are moving through the system to get out of homelessness, but are encountering some barriers, and our team will have system navigators that are really focused on moving them quickly through the process so that they can get into housing. And we're really focused on also permanent supportive housing. As you can see, one of our sites here, we believe that homes end homelessness, and so having various aspects of different permanent supportive housing sites that we're working with, we believe that the wraparound services for our most vulnerable individuals will really help them stabilize and housing long term. One of the things we've also noticed in San Diego, and I'm sure this is the case across the state, is the divide of homelessness and healthcare, and trying to really bring those two sectors together. Thank you so much for taking the journey today at Zephyr and being in San Diego. We look forward to seeing you soon.
My name's Bobby Bago. We're here at the beautiful Marston House on the edge of Balboa Park in San Diego. The house is owned by the city, and it's operated by the Save Our Heritage organization. And I'm going to take you on a tour today. The house was built in 1905 by the firm of Hibbert and Gill. Irving Gill has become one of the most important early modernist architects in America. First thing you notice when you come in is this beautiful hallway of old-growth redwood. This is the library, and it was George Marston's study, and there's many built-in features here. The bookcases, of course, are built in. He was an avid map collector. And then we go into the music room from the library. Mrs. Marston was a very accomplished musician. There was a baby grand piano here originally, and built into the wall is a place to hold the sheet music. This is not the original piano to the house, but it's a very interesting example of an arts and crafts 1912 upright piano. And here's the living room. The Victorians used to call them parlors, but by the turn of the 20th century, they started to have more modern, informal concept. The fireplace is especially notable. This is a replica of a Donatello sculpture, and they had that at the house on the Wellesley campus. The lamp is an official, original, authentic Tiffany lamp. Now we're going into the dining room, and very important people were invited to dinner here, including Theodore Roosevelt and Booker T. Washington, as well as all the local dignitaries in San Diego, like the Wangenheims and the Fletchers. So now we enter the butler's pantry, and all of these doors close so that the noise and the heat and the aromas of the kitchen don't waft into the dining room. These sugar pine countertops lift up. This is from Marston's department store. It's a little carpet sweeper. Each room was numbered, and when you pushed the bell, the arrow would go up. So the staff person would know who needed help. And then this is a speaking tube. Okay, so here's the kitchen. The only thing that really has changed in the kitchen is that in the 1920s, they added tile over by the sink. This is the original stove hood that came with the house. It's from the Wedgwood Company, and this Wedgwood stove is an exact replica of the original stove. This is what's called a California cooler. It always faced north, where the coolest breezes would come, and there's an opening, there's vents and slats, so the cool breeze comes there, and then a register at the bottom carries the hot air out. The next part of the tour goes up the stairs. This is what I think is one of the most beautiful features of the house, the way the redwood banister wraps around this bench. And it leads up to a very interesting open gallery space on the second floor. Every closet has a window that opens like that for cross ventilation and air circulation. So Mrs. Marston's mother and her nurse lived in this room until she passed away just a year or two after the family moved in. And then it became a sitting room. This is the master bedroom. And this is the third of the original Tiffany lamps. My favorite, the geometric design, I think is marvelous. And the shading of the greens and the yellows. And out here is a charming little balcony where they could have their morning tea. This was the brother's room. This is Arthur's room. He only lived here for 2 years. And then this is as close to the original bathrooms that they would have had in 1905. Okay, the last two rooms are our exhibit rooms. This room is dedicated to the Marston department store. It was like the Marshall Fields or the Selfridges of San Diego. They were very well known for the beautiful floral displays they had on every counter on the main floor. And in the cases here, we have items that were from Marston's department store with Marston labels on them. This room, the second part of our legacy exhibit, is dedicated to all of George Marston's tremendous accomplishments in the fields of business and philanthropy, as well as that of his family. The sleeping porch was one of the features of arts and crafts homes that was obviously pleasant, but also considered very healthy, to more fresh air. The arts and crafts style wasn't just a style of architecture, it was sort of a whole movement that involved healthy living and progressive ideas all around. Thank you so much for taking the time to go through the Marston House with us. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope if you're in San Diego, you'll come down and see it in person. And we hope you'll continue to support all of the work that PATH does.
What a journey this has been. Today we've seen the beautiful, unique, and historic homes of our supporters. We've toured our innovative and dynamic PATH sites, and we've heard from so many supporters what home means to them. Of course, this wouldn't be possible without the generous support of our sponsors, attendees, our PATH staff, and our volunteers. So many people have contributed to this event, and it truly speaks to the spirit of collaboration that PATH is known for. In closing, I'd like to offer my personal connection to the work and what home means to me. Home to me is safety and security, a place where you can lock the door, where I can laugh and cry the hardest, where I'm surrounded by love, and I am so grateful for this work we do that allows us the opportunity to help so many more people make it home. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon and for our first ever virtual Making It Home tour. The fun, though, doesn't have to stop here. I would encourage you all to take a few hours to relax, to check out the DIY Make It Home workshops, and further explore the featured homes on the event website. Cheers to you all.
I come from an incredibly tight-knit family. You know, my cousins are like siblings to me. And home for us is the place where you can go and you can feel safe. You can be yourself, and you're surrounded by people that know you and things that know you. I think that might sound a little odd, but you know, your couch is familiar to you, or you know, it's your favorite chair. It's your knickknacks that you love and you see. And our home is filled with so many things from my grandparents and my great-grandparents. And we have a couple of chairs that were a wedding gift from my grandparents to my parents. And so I would say home to me speaks of family and love and safety.
Home to me is where you feel safe, where you have your loved ones, and you are able to actually be yourself fully, and that you don't have to worry about when you go to bed where you're going to wake up, how you're going to wake up, and feeling unsafe. And so home is a loving environment.
Home means family. It means somewhere where you can go and feel safe, a retreat, and you can just let your hair down, let your guard down, and play with your dogs, and talk with your kids, and hang out and watch your favorite show on Netflix. And so it's just basically my favorite space, my comfort.
Home to me is about security. Knowing where you live, knowing where you're going to live, knowing the people around you, feeling safe, and having a space that's specifically for you. I pride myself in being able to provide that for our clients. I know that that's our ultimate mission, and I'm proud to say that it was a success for the clients here.
Well, home to me is, me and my family, is simplicity and doesn't take much. I always say you just need a kitchen big enough to make some tacos. But home is a place of peace where you can sleep, where you can eat, and be happy with your family.
Yeah, so I've thought about a lot. After the debris flow, I thought, what is home exactly? And I think the first part of home is just a place in your own heart that you can take with you anywhere you go. That said, to have, you know, a little place where you can rest your head, have some peace, close the door, open it, have some friends over, do laundry, make dinner, take a nap, read a book. Just, you know, the everyday rituals that we all enjoy and maybe take for granted.
Hi, I'm Senator Monique Limon, representing Ventura and Santa Barbara counties in the 19th District. For me, home means foundation and stability. We are fortunate to have a roof over our heads and a base that allows us to grow, feel safe, and create a life with the people we love. Helping people find a home during this public health crisis must be a top priority, and I would like to thank Pat for all the work they do to ensure that we end homelessness for individuals, families, and communities.
Hi, I'm Don Johnson, and home to me, well, it's more than a place you just hang your hat. It's a place where you feel love and give love, and you connect with yourself, and a place where that you can feel a freedom that you can't feel anywhere else. Home is sweet.
What is home to me? When I was just days old, I was actually abandoned and I had no family and I had no home. So to me, home is a sacred place. So every time somebody moves into their new home, it's very special to me as well.